Twitter, I just said, okay, so you say that you brought Prestige to the title, and now you just want him to hand it back to you. What is wrong with that statement there? That's like WWE Logic 101 right there, where it's just like, I don't hate you, but I don't like you. It's one of those things.
Yeah, that's Miz being heel, though. I mean, he, it's really funny because Chris, my co-host on Smark Money, good friend.
Yeah.
He hated the Miz. Ever since we started our podcast in late 2015, he's always badmouthed and dogged the Miz, and I was like, "Come on, man! Like,
come on, man!"
And Chris got on board the Miz wagon this past year, and has said some very positive things. Said he's been a fan of what he's done. Said it was one of his best years. I agree as well. 2016, definitely was Miz's probably best year of his career. I mean, hands down WWE-wise, I think AJ Styles was Superstar of the Year. But Miz was definitely one of those guys that could have been nominated if they did a Slammy category. If they did the Slammies this year.
Right.
Which they're not. It's weird. So we kind of did it all, and we did the Smarkies.
Right. The Smarkies. Oh, man.
The Smarkies.
Well, we'll have to do like a whole episode or a whole week's work of that. Just call it the Epic Smarkies of the Year.
Well, actually, we used your template for our part of our list. We had a couple other things we threw in, but we used, I believe it was your template. I think you had it posted on Facebook or something.
Yeah, I think I posted on the Evolve Productions page, which, guys, give that a like, give it a thumbs up. Could definitely use that going into the merger days. Anyway, but we can honestly say that the Miz didn't leave, empty-handed. I mean, he got the Miz Participation Award, which I thought was...
Oh, I love that. I love that because that whole thing came full circle with Dean Ambrose and the Miz. When Miz gave that to Dean Ambrose a couple of weeks ago, I said, that was probably one of the best things ever. You didn't win, but you tried. And then for Dean Ambrose to re-gift it back to him on SmackDown tonight, I was just like, wow, that was pretty good. Whoever is helping that whole storyline, whoever's writing or doing stuff with that, they're doing some good stuff with that.
Oh gosh, yeah. I will say this, that I'm guessing that they're probably going to have the title rematch at the Royal Rumble. Do we see Renee Young get involved?
I'm not sure if they're going to do that. You would think so, but Miz... Well, first of all, Dean Ambrose completely screwed up when he started off by saying he is the first person on SmackDown to enter the Royal Rumble.
I noticed that.
Because Baron Corbin announced last week that he is the first person from SmackDown to enter the Rumble. So I kind of thought somebody dropped the ball on that. But, Dean Ambrose said he's in the Rumble. Miz came out and said he's in the Rumble. I know they've had double duty matches at the Rumble before, like having a match and then both are in the Rumble. I'm not sure if we're going to see that, though.
Well, you forget that they did that last year with Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens for that last man standing match.
Yeah, that's true.
And
so, possibly. We could see it.
And hey, Dean made it to the final two, even after going through all that. I'm thinking, damn, he is the Iron Man of WWE right now. Holy cow.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, Dean Ambrose and Miz get into a little bit of a quarrel, and Maurice accidentally slaps the Miz by mistake. Dean gets a dirty deeds, and of course, Mr. Dean decides, well, okay, your husband's kind of knocked out. Take the participation award. Maurice reluctantly agrees to take it, and Dean just walks out like Dean does, and that's just amazing.
It's a pretty good segment. I was a little bummed. I thought Miz. I was really rooting for him to kind of go over in that scenario, But then, of course, they turn the tides, and Dean goes over in that segment and gets the last laugh on Miz and Maurice. But it's definitely not the end of it. I wish I could say I could see Miz getting that title back, but I don't think so. I kind of think this is the way of taking Dean Ambrose out of that main event picture and creating new storylines with kind of the mid-carders. Because Dean's been in that main event picture on SmackDown since, the brand split.
Yeah.
And, now Cena's back. Who freaking knows what's going to go on with the Rumble? Like I said, all those scenarios of someone winning and challenging AJ Styles. I'm just glad that that Turtle mated with an alien isn't anywhere near AJ Styles anymore. But I already am sick of Carmelsworth or Chinella, whatever you want to call it.
I will call it a disgrace to nature.
Yeah.
We're not even gonna.
Anytime he comes out, I love when JBL just rips on him. JBL is a great commentator. Like, he used to call himself a wrestling god. He used to call himself a commentating god from now on.
Well, there could be a debate about that, but we're not going to get into that. We're going to talk a bit about the Dolph Ziggler deal. This week was actually very, very interesting, to say the least, because Dolph Ziggler said absolutely nothing. He was not showing the same kind of energy that he would have last week when he was a babyface. He's obviously turned full-fledged heel. I definitely do like the fact that he's now seemingly a little bit more of a quiet heel, because usually he was always the loudmouth, obnoxious, outspoken guy, but now he's just the guy who just says absolutely nothing. He walks out, looks to do his business, but unfortunately that did not work out for him tonight because he lost to Kalisto, but it did help fuel his fire as a heel, being frustrated with losing match after match after match. Obviously, they're still going to have the whole Dolph Ziggler-Apollo Crews feud going on, but I want to get your thoughts on Dolph Ziggler's work so far since he turned heel last week.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I was a big fan of heel Ziggler back on the Dizzy, which was a Wednesday, I believe, a couple years ago. But, full-blown heel Ziggler seems to be where it's going. I like what they're doing. I really thought Apollo Crews was going to come out and get some revenge, but I was wrong, and he got his ass handed to him by Ziggler in a steel chair. And I liked it. And poor Kalisto, Jesus, the last month, 2 months, he's been beaten with steel chairs by Baron Corbin and now Ziggler. Whew. I'm going to get that man some ibuprofen because I bet he's hurting.
Yeah, well, it has to be prescription ibuprofen by the WWE doctors, obviously. Otherwise, he'll get a 30-day suspension.
Obviously. But yeah, I'm fully on board with heel Ziggler. I've always thought heel Ziggler was better than babyface Ziggler. Heel Ziggler, to me, world champion material. Babyface Ziggler, not so much.
Yeah, I definitely do agree. I think it's going to be a definite big-time tide between now and the end of the year. I think that Dolph Ziggler is going to get back in the world title picture. Will he get one reign? Maybe. I know that this past year, Spencer was making the prediction that Dolph Ziggler was going to be world champion by the end of the year. Obviously, that didn't turn out to be the way that he had hoped. So, you're wrong, Spencer. Ha ha. But I think that Ziggler has a better chance of being champion this year than he did last year, as long as he gets the right kind of momentum behind him.
Yeah, I think it all depends on his contract too. I'm pretty sure he's only got about a year left on that thing.
Oh, that's right. Oh man.
I don't know if they're going to put one more run on him before he goes. I was also last year, along with Spencer, was one of the guys where it was like I could really see them throwing a title on him kind of grease him over into, because he kind of already said, like, when my contract's up, I'm done. I was kind of thinking, well, what if they put a world title on him, kind of grease him up, maybe get him assigned for another year or two. But it didn't happen. So if it didn't happen then, I don't know if it's going to happen now.
Right. Well, we'll just have to wait and see, and we'll let you guys know what's going on in the future. Moving on from that, we got the tag team title matchup. American Alpha defending their titles for the first time against the Wyatt families, Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. Definite chaos, but a really damn good matchup, all in all. But the story about this matchup is the ending, which Luke Harper, again, costing the Wyatts the titles. But we also see a lot of dissension in the ranks there, where Randy Orton and Luke Harper, they're just getting at each other's, throats. Bray Wyatt's trying to be the peacemaker, but then gets super kicked by Luke Harper by accident. And then I don't know what Bray Wyatt said, but he whispered something to Randy, he whispered something to Luke, and then he walked out. And then
when he was squaring off with Randy, I'm pretty sure he was saying, "Hit me."
Oh, that's right.
And then I think when he got in Harper's face, it looked like he was saying, like, do something, But this whole thing pisses me off beyond belief. As well as anyone else who knows me, that Bray Wyatt is one of my favorite guys. He's been one of my favorite guys since he's come to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Finally gets a title. Tag title, which I was like, okay, it's better than not having a title at all. They're going to see how he looks with a belt, how he carries himself with the belt, how the fans react to him with the belt. And, hopefully they'll keep it for a while and see how it goes. No, 23 days later, he fucking loses it. I was pissed, especially how the announcers were just putting the Wyatts over, calling them the next Undertaker and Kane. They're the next Brothers of Destruction, that these guys are going to hold on to these titles as long as they want them. Nobody's going to take it from them, and then 3.5 weeks later, boom, gone.
Yeah.
I saw Chris the other day. I said, somebody in the back has to be telling Bray Wyatt, just wait. You're going to have, like, all the stuff that we've put you through in these last couple of years. I told Chris, so he better be the one if he wins the world title, he's gonna be the one that's gonna beat CM Punk's record. He's gonna have the title for like 500 days. Like, he better. Like, they gotta be telling him something. Just wait it out, because they have booked him so horribly. I know he's had a couple of injuries, but they've had many, many opportunities to kind of have him, stay in the main event picture. Sorry, even, world title. How was it last year, WrestleMania? They had an opportunity to have Bray Wyatt face The Rock. And what do? They put fucking Eric Rowan in there and had him just get rock bottom and pinned in 6 seconds. I'm glad it didn't happen to Bray, but that was a great opportunity to put Bray Wyatt up against The Rock. And, obviously they would have had Rock go over, but it would have been a great opportunity for Bray. And, he gives Rock a good match. Rock goes backstage, says, hey, this guy can hang. He already got high praise from The Undertaker from their match at WrestleMania. What fucking more do you need? And they keep kicking him to the curb every time they get a chance, and it sucks because he's one of the best people on the mic. But with the way he's been booked, with all these losses, it's making what he says not credible anymore. It's like, it's Bray Wyatt. He's just spouting off again. Like, before, what he said was creepy and would probably scare most people, and made him look really tough. Now it's just he's lost to all these people now, so what he says is not. It doesn't have any meaning behind it. So I think they kind of screwed themselves with that, and then they had this golden opportunity to have a nice tag team run, and then 23 days later it's gone.
Yeah, it's
That